On the hunt for comfortable, timeless Western boots? You already know the best place to shop for quality boots is at your local Tecovas store. So stop by Tecovas Nashville at the Mall at Green Hills or on Broadway by Ryman Auditorium. That's right, you now have 2 locations to choose from. Grab a cold one as you shop and get fitted by a pro. Tecovas Nashville is at your service, and you can find your perfectly fitted dream boots with the help of their expert staff. Everyone will be asking where you got your sick new boots, but I won't be asking because I know they must be Tecovas. That's TECOVAS.com. Don't go gently, y'all.
Today on CityCast Nashville, we've got your guide to November, and we are oh so thankful for all the amazing events happening across the city this month. We've got suggestions on where to pre-order your Thanksgiving Day meals, plus turkey trots and hiking adventures perfect for catching the fall leaves or even coyote sightings. Also, what are your thoughts on Christmas events creeping in early? We're talking to you, Mariah Carey. All we want for Christmas is for our stuffing to be digested before you hit those high notes. I'm here with executive producer Whitney Pastorek and Hey Nashville newsletter editor Margaret Kingsbury. If you're new here, in addition to these monthly guides, here at CityCast Nashville, we bring you daily episodes with stories that connect you with the city you love. And hey, stick around after the interview for our special segment called A Mile in Their Boots, spotlighting people who shape the culture and community of Nashville. Today, we'll be going inside a day in the life of Allie Wallace, the executive director of Open Table Nashville. CityCast Nashville is presented by our exclusive launch sponsor, Tecovas. It's Wednesday, October 30th. I'm Marie Cecile Anderson, and this is what Nashville's talking about. It's my favorite time of the month where I get to hang out with Whitney. Hey, Whitney.
Hello.
And Margaret. Woo. Woo. Happy November. Guide time.
Happy November. It is my favorite month.
Oh, really?
Well, we will get into why. But there are so many things to be thankful for in this beautiful month. So I'm excited to get into it.
That is true. So many things to be thankful for. But first, we have to address the elephant in the room. And that's the election. That is this month.
Yes.
November 5th.
That's true.
Friends, listeners, if you have not early voted, please make sure you go out and vote on November 5th. And I'll see you at the bar afterwards.
Yes. And I think one of the biggest things I'm thankful for this month is that no matter what, it will be over.
Yay.
We're a nonpartisan podcast. So I cannot say anything more than that. But at least they will stop running commercials.
Yes, and please, I hope the text messages stop.
Oh, my God.
Because I think like, ooh, somebody's texting me. Oh, nope. It's just endless.
No, I don't have any real friends. It's just James Carville.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, once we do know the results, we have a great way to comfort ourselves. And that's with all the amazing Thanksgiving Day meals that you can get in Nashville.
Woo! It's such a good food month and time to cozy up with mashed potatoes and stews and pies and coffees.
Do y'all cook or do you guys take out or go out to restaurants?
Typically, I cook because no one wants to cook for me. So, because I have food allergies.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
So, I will go to someone's house that has a full meal, usually my mom, sometimes my sisters, and then I have to bring my own meal.
Oh.
That's so sad.
Well, do you cook something fun for yourself?
I love pumpkin pie, so we cook pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Ooh,
We're a classic.
yes.
We're a classic.
Like a gluten-free crust.
Yeah, gluten-free. I just buy the crust. I don't attempt. Baking gluten-free is really hard.
I'm not even gluten-free, and I still just buy the crust. I mean, I make a damn fine pumpkin pie. Wally, not right now.
He wants pumpkin pie.
I make a damn fine pumpkin pie, but I can tell you right now that Pillsbury does most of the heavy lifting on that one.
Yes.
Well, I am one to vote for getting takeout. I don't like just spending all day cooking and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And then you just eat for an hour and then you have to go back to cleaning.
Not if you just impose on others.
Yes.
Yes.
My favorite place in town is Monell's.
Yay!
We do it every year. It is unbelievable. Their Thanksgiving takeout situation will sell out. So make sure that you get your order in early. It really is the best in town.
What's your favorite thing they have?
The macaroni and cheese.
Ah.
I love macaroni and cheese anywhere, but especially from Monell's. And then also they have ham. So I like turkey. Don't come for me. But I really love like a honey baked ham. Oh my goodness. And so they have the turkey and ham, the cornbread dressing, green bean casserole. I don't like sweet potato casserole. Also,
What?
don't come for me for that. I don't like it. And then they have a caramel pumpkin pie with crumb topping.
That sounds so good.
We would also always get the fried chicken. They also have like an 18-piece fried chicken that you can add for $35. And I say, do it.
How many people are in your family?
There's like 2 of us.
It's like Gilmore Girls level of eating.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm rewatching Gilmore Girls right now, and I forgot like that they have like a binge eating problem.
Oh.
They're always ordering like everything on the menu from the Chinese food restaurant. I love it so much. Well, I want to put up against Monell's another legendary Nashville place that has just been named Best Comeback in the Best of Nashville 2024. It's Cal's Country Kitchen, which is a longtime legendary meat and three here in town. Carolyn Buggs decided to retire, and then Marcus Buggs, her son, who had been running a restaurant called Coneheads over on Dickerson, he decided to reopen it this year, and they've got their entire menu available for catering orders. So a lot of the same things you just listed, Marie. I'm going to put their mac and cheese up against Monell's.
Oh.
Also, broccoli and cheese, which Margaret sounds like something maybe you could enjoy.
You would be surprised. A lot of those include gluten. They can include wheat in the cheese sauce to thicken it.
Oh, because yeah. Oh, no.
Like I'm looking for gluten-free Thanksgiving around Nashville, and I'm coming up with nothing while we're talking.
Oh, really?
But I know you're excited about one place that other people could go.
Yes, that is the Catio Lounge is hosting. If you haven't been to the Catio Lounge, it's a nonprofit cat rescue, and we sometimes visit just to pet the cats because my daughter is cat obsessed, and we love playing with the cats and kittens there. And they host a Thanksgiving dinner that also sells out super fast. This year, they're in a new space, and it has double the amount of room. So hopefully you'll be able to manage to get a ticket, but I recommend doing that fast. It's $25 for adults and $15 for kids. You can go have a home-cooked Thanksgiving meal with 67 cats. And afterwards, they have like couches you can sleep on and like bean bags and stuff. And you could just lounge with the cat.
Wait, so you could eat your dinner and then just cuddle with cats?
That's right. That's
While
right.
you nap? Will they
Yes.
have football?
I have no idea. I can't answer that question.
Because if they had football, I would pop some Benadryl and be right over.
Yeah, I have to take extra allergy meds before I go.
67 cats
That's hilarious.
with your turkey.
Yes.
It's like, would you like some fur balls with your stuffing?
That's exactly. My mom
goodness.
rescues cats, and whenever
Oh.
we go to her house for Thanksgiving dinner, there's cat hair in most of the dinner items, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm picturing just like a little kitten curled up in the mashed potatoes, just fast asleep.
Yeah. I mean, how are you keeping 67 cats off the dinner table?
You're not.
You're not.
You're not.
You're absolutely not.
You
Wow.
really need to love cats to be doing this.
Still, I think that would be hilarious. Marie, you've got one that you're excited about that is not the traditional American Thanksgiving.
I kind of seek this out sometimes. You know, I love turkey and stuff, but sometimes if I do a Friendsgiving, then I'm like, I have all the food. And then on Thanksgiving, I want to do something a little different. And one of my family's favorite restaurants is Sadie's. And they actually do a Mediterranean inspired Thanksgiving buffet.
Ooh.
I also love a buffet.
That's the first real American thing you've said.
I know. I love a buffet. I actually had a reality TV show idea, buffet or buffet, and travel around and taste all these buffets. If you're listening, if you want to produce that, I am here for it. I love a buffet.
If you're listening, you've all signed non-disclosure agreements.
don't
and
steal
non-competes. Don't steal that idea.
But if you've ever been to Sadie's, it's over by Belmont. So they have from 11 to 8 o'clock. They have a cold station. They always have all kinds of, they've like whipped feta, hummus, and, you know, all kinds of desserts and stuff. So it's only $48 per adult. And I think that's one of the cheapest Thanksgiving buffets I found in town. But that also will sell out. So make sure you make your reservation for that early.
I want to give one last shout out. and you know where I'm going with this, Marie, you're going to make fun of me again. Shotgun Willie's Barbecue, officially the best barbecue in Nashville, according to the Nashville Scene's Best of Nashville 2024 issue. Also a place where I used to work, but that doesn't impact my opinion. If you've ever had Bill's smoked chicken, you know that it is insanely good. So I need you to imagine that same smoking technique applied to a turkey.
Ooh,
And
now you're talking.
Just envision that in your mind. You can also get brisket if you're not a turkey person, but I'm telling you, it will be so moist and delicious, you'll just die. Plus, he's got all the sides: mash, turnip greens, Mr. Tony's magic green beans, glazed carrots, and their delicious jalapeno cornbread. So you can pre-order that at sgwbbq.com for pickup on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And if they've got any leftovers, they'll probably be selling those down the road. So keep an eye out.
Wow. Well, how are we going to run off these calories?
Well, it's really important to run off those calories. I just can't believe I was so decadent. I was so bad. And so now I have to go.
I was so bad. Now I have to go and run off all these calories. I did a turkey run for the first time 2 years ago, the Music City turkey run, because I was working with a personal trainer, and we actually like trained for this 5K, and I almost died because you run over the bridge, and that is up. That is
true.
We didn't train like traveling up mountains, even though it's not quite a mountain, but
The Korean Vets Bridge is no joke.
no joke, and I did it.
But I do of all of our on the day turkey trot options, I like that one the best. It's the Music City Turkey Trot. They've got a 5K. They've also got a 1 miler, which might have been more your speed, Marie.
I should have done that.
It starts at the stadium. It goes into downtown. It's a pretty flat and fast 5K, maybe with the exception of that bridge. But it's a really good time. I'll be curious how the stadium construction is impacting it. It probably won't be quite so nice down there. But I really like that one. Also on day of, another option is the Nashville Turkey Trot, which takes place in Two Rivers Park. And that's a 5K or a 10 miler. If you're really trying to avoid your family, a great way to do that is to do the 10 miler on Thanksgiving morning.
I'd just be gone all day.
Still working, still going. I'll be there for dinner.
Still walking.
I have done that one a couple of times. And it's got nice vibes. And obviously, Two Rivers is beautiful in the fall. It's a beautiful rolling course. The only problem is it has literally like the biggest hill in all of Nashville on the course, which people might know if you've ever been out there. There's a hill that goes down from McGavick Pike to like the water treatment facility. And it's pretty much like a 45-degree angle. You're not running up that unless you're one of those really healthy and strong people. So if you can handle one murderous hill, then that's the one for you. The most famous turkey trot in town is the Boulevard Bolt. This is like almost 8,000 people running up and down Belmead Boulevard. It's one of the largest 5-mile races in the country. I have never done it. And that is because they do not allow animals.
Oh.
They also do not allow strollers, which I find very interesting. So if you don't need to bring a baby or your dog, get on out there with the good people of the Belmead Boulevard.
That one is so famous. I also have never done that. I do choose to do the Belmead Boulevard. I used to do that with my dad all the time. We'd ride bikes down it because it is fairly safe. It's like one of the only roads that like we felt safe because there are 2 lanes and people are very respectful of walkers, runners, and bikers on that very expensive, lovely street.
Yes, I was going to say, thank you, rich people, for not running us down.
Yeah, exactly. But it really, I mean, to see the Belmead, those mansions, it really is quite a sight. So go out and support it if you like walking without your dog or baby.
Without your dog or baby on a holiday. One thing that has always confused me about turkey trots and people being like, I'm going to run it off, is that they all happen before the meal. They're always in the morning. So I don't really know what the point of those are.
Well, then you deserve it. Then you get to...
Right. Oh, right.
You know,
you've earned food.
Yeah, that's how, I felt when I almost died.
You've earned the food you need to survive. So my favorite one, full stop, is the one that actually happens after Thanksgiving. It's on Saturday. It's the full belly 5K in Shelby Park. It goes around Sevier Lake and then out around the sort of field where the tick seed super bloom is. It's a beautiful course. It's very flat. It has, wait for it, a 9 a.m. start time.
Oh, I like that.
Which I think is something we can all get behind. It benefits Friends of Shelby. There's also a 1 mile fun run for the kids and the walkers and the people who don't feel like exerting themselves. So those are my picks for your turkey trots. Obviously, if you live outside Davidson County, there is a turkey trot happening in your town. So get out there, enjoy the fall air. You don't have to run. A lot of people don't. Just get out there and move your body. Move the calories around a little.
Margaret, does your family do any activities outside before they dive into the turkey?
We definitely do not run. We are not a family of runners. Well, I take that back. My daughter loves to run away from us. But we do love hiking. And this is a great month for hiking because you get to see all the fall leaves.
Oh, yeah. Where are your favorite places to see leaves?
So one of our favorite places is to get on the Natchez Trace. We drive out towards Lovelace. We kind of live close to Lovelace, so we drive out there, and then you can get on the Natchez Trace across from there. And we head out we look at just driving through the Natchez Trace is gorgeous to see all the fall leaves. Mm-hmm. You know, we go to the bridge, and then we go to Timberland Park there, and there's lots of places to hike in the trees. I will say you don't get a good view of the trees. You always think when you're up there that there'll be some spot where you can just pause and there'll be an unobstructed view. But there's not really. But it's gorgeous just to be in and among the trees. And another place we're always going to is the Warner Parks. Edwin Warner Park's great for being in and among the trees. And then if you go to the steps for Percy Warner Park, you go up those stairs if you can make it. There is an overlook. So you kind of get to see a scenic fall leaves. And then you can go on a hike, and it's a paved hike, which is kind of nice when you have a kid.
Oh, yeah. A stroller, for example.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous over there.
So Percy Warner Park does accept strollers. Boulevard Bolt does not.
Yeah, both Edwin Warner and Percy Warner have lots of paved trails. Most of the parks here actually do. Shelby has paved trails.
Yeah.
Radnor Lake does.
Beeman doesn't.
Beeman does not. That's true.
Right.
Bell's Bend doesn't either.
I hear it's a beautiful time to be at Radnor. Marie, that's your favorite place. What's the leaf situation out there?
I mean, it's stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. And if you hit it right, the lake is reflecting all the leaves. You know, it's just so beautiful. And like you said, the road is paved, so you can walk on that if you have a stroller. Or if you like to run, you can run on the paved part. No running on the trails, folks.
There's a lot of protected wildlife over there, too.
Yes.
So they want to protect the ground nests and things like that. Yeah.
Ground nests?
I mean, I could be wrong, but there's creatures that nest in the ground.
Oh.
Yes, that is very true. You see the little holes of some creepy critter.
What's the best animal either of you have seen in a forest in Nashville recently?
Recently, I mean, I have seen wild turkeys at Radnor Lake. I did see a whole gaggle.
Yes.
And I see tons of deer at Edwin Warner.
It didn't happen in Nashville, but when I was actually in Durham, hiking in Durham, North Carolina, a copperhead snake slithered right by me. So I'm grateful that Nashville doesn't have copperhead snakes.
I was going to say, this is not CityCast Durham.
But I am very aware of snakes, especially I like to hike at Bell's Bend. But like sometimes the grass gets really high. Also, you have to watch for ticks for sure out there. But I'm always looking out for snakes out there.
That is one of the nicest things about November coming to Nashville is that ideally the ticks will start to go night-night now.
Yes, and the snakes.
Although I didn't have that bad of a year with the ticks with my beautiful dog Wally, my running buddy, who is not allowed to run in the Boulevard Bolt. We spend a lot of our time in the trails in and around the air park out in Shelby. I know I've mentioned this before. The most exciting critter I saw out there this year was a coyote.
Oh, you did?
Ooh.
Oh, full on. We were the only ones out there. It was raining. Sometimes I like to take Wally out there when it's raining because he's very reactive. So we go at times when we know like nobody else will be there. And he was very happily trotting along. And then he just kind of stopped. And I was like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's a dog. Oh, it's not a dog.
Yeah.
So we just sort of made our exit from the space. I don't think they mess with you. And I think it's super cool that we live in this urban area that has so much wildlife that we are supporting coyotes and deers and turkeys and beavers and raccoons and all the other things that are constantly rummaging around in our yards.
Yeah, one day we were waiting for the bus stop very early in the morning, and there was a coyote running around in the neighborhood. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I've also, just in the past month, I've had a giant owl and a giant hawk who I have had in the trees in my backyard before. They're up there. I can hear them. Sometimes I can see them. But these dudes or ladies, I don't know, were sitting on my fence.
Ooh. Well, a couple years ago at Radnor Lake, they had an issue with an owl who was dive bobbing women's ponytails. And it only happened, I think, for a small amount of time. But yeah, like women were having to like tuck their ponytails in. I mean, not everybody knew that this was happening also, but all of a sudden this huge owl would come out of nowhere and dive bomb women in their ponytails.
I wonder what its beef was.
We asked a ranger, and he said that they were thinking that the owls thought it was a mouse of some sort of like thing that just you had a mouse just hanging on the back of your head, and they were going for that.
Ladies, what kind of hair care products are we using? All right. Well, I want to just real quick. This has been amazing. I would like to, please, if you don't mind, let me run down some of the concerts, because I actually think this is a pretty cool month for concerts here in town. Mm-hmm. First of all, right here off the bat, if you still like to have a little Halloween vibe as we start to merge into the Christmas season, the Nashville Symphony is doing the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack, November 2nd and 3rd. Margaret, have you been to that before?
I have been to some of their movie symphonies, not the Nightmare Before Christmas.
They play the movie like in the background, don't they?
Correct. Yes, they do. I love it. It is so fun.
And then the Ryman, and this is why I wanted to talk about this, the Ryman is stacked this month. Here are some of the people who are coming. Bonnie Raitt, Dawes, ZZ Top, Old Hickory's own superstar comedian Nate Bargatze, Drive-By Truckers, and then Amy Grant and Vince Gill start their big Christmas run on November 29th. It's the 14th annual Amy Grant and Vince Gill Christmas Spectacular, and it will run through to the holiday season. And I, for one, appreciate them waiting until after Thanksgiving, because I have a real problem with the Christmas creep. Not waiting until after Thanksgiving is frickin' Mariah Carey. She is bringing her ubiquitous song, which I'm sure you're all aware of. I don't need to sing it for you, to Bridgestone, November 25th for the Mariah Carey Christmas Time Tour. November 25th!
That's so exciting.
But when is Thanksgiving?
The 28th.
Okay, so what side of Thanksgiving is that on, Mariah Carey?
It just gets you in the mood for all holiday fun.
This is my favorite month, and it's because we get to focus on gratitude and thankfulness and friends and family and people we love without any explicit gift giving necessary. So it's like not commercial. It's not capitalistic, which I suppose is why Mariah Carey has swamped my favorite holiday with her crass commercial jingling. But anyway, some of y'all might be excited about that. So yeah, Mariah Carey, All She Wants for Christmas Is You, Bridgestone, November 25th. And then last but not least, a reminder, this is the CMA Awards month. They will be happening at Bridgestone Arena on November 20th. It's country music's biggest night. Who's excited?
Woo! If Beyonce had been there, I'd be real excited.
Oh, yeah, no.
No.
Not happening. Okay, well then, if that's not your speed, could I interest you in Guar at Brooklyn Bowl on that same night instead?
Guar. I mean, that's really freaking cool that is happening the same right now. This is why I love Nashville, and I'm so thankful for Nashville, because for every person that loves country music, there's something also for you here in town. So don't think that everybody here loves country music. We also love Guar.
Margaret, what's one thing you're thankful for?
I am thankful for my family that is all living in Nashville. They all live in the Nashville area. I'm thankful I can see them. I get to spend time with them. Although we're all going to the beach for Thanksgiving. So there you go.
Which beach?
Fort Morgan over by Gulf Shores.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Marie, are you traveling?
Yes, my family, we're going to Charleston. And we're doing a seafood boil instead of Thanksgiving turkey.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about that.
That's amazing. I'm going nowhere, so I'll hold it down for CityCast Nashville. I will. And we hope everybody has a great month.
We're thankful for you all.
That's true. Yes.
Oh, that's true. I guess we are thankful for all of you. Oh my gosh, y'all. It's our first Thanksgiving together as a podcast family.
I know. Well, we are very, very lucky to have everybody listening, and I feel very, very lucky to be working with you ladies.
Same.
All I want for Christmas is you, Marie.
Oh. Hey, don't go anywhere. In just a second, our executive producer, Whitney Pastorek, will be walking a mile in the boots of Allie Wallace, the executive director of local nonprofit Open Table Nashville.
Hey y'all, it's CityCast Nashville executive producer Whitney Pastorek, and I am here with Allie Wallace, the executive director of Open Table Nashville. Hey Allie, how are you?
Hey Whitney, I'm doing well.
All right, let's start with the easiest question. For folks who maybe aren't familiar, what is Open Table Nashville?
So Open Table Nashville works with folks who are experiencing homelessness, and we have 3 primary programs. We have street outreach and housing navigation. We do community education, as well as some advocacy and policy work. So we do things very much on the individual human one-on-one level with direct service to folks who are living outdoors. And then we also want to make sure we're going upstream and working to make sure that we have solutions and initiatives and policies in place that are helpful to our friends experiencing homelessness as opposed to harmful.
Can you give me quick definitions on a couple of things? What is housing navigation?
It essentially is walking alongside of somebody through the process of finding and obtaining permanent housing. Nashville is experiencing a deepening affordable housing crisis. And so we work with the coordinated systems that exist in the city. And so that might be, a waiting list through MDHA. That might be applying for a Section 8 voucher. We want to create a housing plan with a person and let them know what their options are, what their goals are. What would you like to explore? What type of housing would you like to have?
And then the other thing I'd like you to briefly define is when you say street outreach, what all does that entail?
If shelter beds are full, or shelters have certain barriers that don't work for everyone, and maybe you don't have the income that allows you to afford a fair market rate apartment, that sometimes leaves people outside. And so street outreach is going to where people are. We work really hard to be a very safe presence. We recognize that when we are encountering somebody in an encampment, in the woods, under an underpass, we are entering their home and their space. And so we want to present ourselves in a very calm and reassuring way of, we're here to offer you some services. Is that something you would be interested in? And that's kind of where it starts. And everyone on our staff is trauma informed. So in our work, we assume trauma. Experiencing homelessness is deeply traumatic. And so we need to make sure that we are doing our work and rendering our services with as much care and compassion as possible.
What drew you to this incredibly important work?
So I have been around Open Table Nashville since I was in college, actually, which becoming executive director last year was a really nice full circle moment for me personally. And from an early age, I think my family very much instilled in me a value of helping others. And so I volunteered on and off for years before finally coming on staff. I've been involved since I was 19, actually, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Wow. All right. So then let's walk a mile in your boots. Talk us through what you do in an average day.
You never know what the day holds when you are in the field encountering folks. For me, a typical day definitely includes a lot of email communication. We are a smaller staff. And so being the executive director, I kind of fill several roles that also include operations and development work. And this is probably my favorite part, just spending time with our staff and providing support and supervision, checking in, making sure people feel supported and equipped to do their jobs well.
So I think we can all imagine why your work matters so much to our unhoused neighbors. But why does your work matter to the culture and community of Nashville as a whole?
Everybody that lives in Nashville deserves housing, regardless of your background, your socioeconomic status, or any of those other things we use to define each other and to put people in boxes. We are all part of this city. We are all part of this community. We all have inherent dignity and worth. And so I think our work matters because the people in this city who are experiencing homelessness matter. And they deserve housing and they deserve a safe place to live and be, just like anybody else does.
CityCast is not just about news and culture. It's also about great recommendations. Where do you like to go to relax or have fun?
So I am married and have a 3-year-old. And so my son loves a restaurant. He loves to ask to go to a restaurant. And he's got a couple favorites. A Mexican restaurant is always going to be his favorite because he loves chips. And so,
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, you might find us at El Fuego. You might find us at Rose Pepper. He loves East Nashville Beer Works because of the playground, which I love because that means I can continue to sit and sip on my beer while he is playing on the playground.
All right. If people want to volunteer with Open Table Nashville or find out more, I'm assuming that they should go to opentablenashville.org.
Yes, that's a great place to go. And please follow us on social media as well. We post about and share about our work, ways to be involved. We provide a lot of community education and awareness. If you're interested in learning more of what is the scope of homelessness in Nashville right now? What do I need to learn? Going to Open Table Nashville's Instagram is a great place to learn about those things.
We will have that link to both your website and your socials in the show notes for this episode, so people can just go there and be a click away. Allie, thank you so much for all you do, and thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great.
That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend? Rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Nashville newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Toodles!